basi wangu mimi wa Kristo wa kanisa hili kuu la Nairobi, nikitoa kwa niaba pia ya makanisa yote ya jimbo lote, maaskofu wote katika nchi ya Kenya. Na ujumbe ni ufuatao. Wito ni huu: I have heard my people cry. That is Exodus 3:7. Dear Kenyans, our dear leaders in the government and our dear leaders in the opposition, we come to you again as your shepherds at this particular time, listening to the word of God saying, I have heard the cry of my people. We invite you to listen to the voice of God now and cease to listen to yourselves. In the last 2 weeks, especially with the mayhem and loneliness we have witnessed, anyone who loves this country has to shed tears. We have witnessed just a glimpse of what our country can degenerate into through irresponsible threats and inciting of Kenyans by political leaders, reckless actions by leaders and citizens, and gross negligence and mistreatment by the law enforcement agents. Instead of seeking solutions, our political leaders have chosen to escalate hate, revenge, anarchy without care for our country. It is a wrong direction we are going, and God forbid. Both government and opposition have refused to face the reality, giving lame excuses for their grave wrong actions, and each played victim to the Kenyans to win sympathy. Kenya cannot be allowed to follow this path. It does not matter what conviction you as a leader or a citizen hold. We cannot and must not allow our country to descend into chaos of disorder and lawlessness of society. Dear Kenyans, we as your shepherds have seen yet again the fragility of our leadership, who seem more interested in their personal gains. Our political leaders are fighting for themselves, not for us citizens. Many people have been hurt, others have lost their lives. People's properties have been destroyed and goods looted. Goods seem to roam freely around us. People have lost their livelihoods. Innocent children have found themselves in the middle of the mayhem and suffered injuries. And still more, some places of worship have been set ablaze by arsonists. This fratricidal conflict will have no winner, because it can only lead to all of us losing what we truly hold dear, our country. It seems for our leaders, popularity must come at the cost of bloodshed, acrimony, as a competition of who is stronger. Our leaders, and especially the political leaders, political class, is this what you and the people of Kenya want of our country? we ask our President, His Excellency William Ruto, in all humility, to bend his heart and feel for this country. We also ask Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga to hear the cry of many Kenyans, including his own supporters, who desperately want a peaceful path. We, as the Catholic bishops, with the Kenyan people, ask and plead now to our leaders and to Kenyans for the following. Number one, we are entering a most sacred time of the Holy Week, when Christians commemorate the major events of Christianity. Our Muslim brothers and sisters are also in the holy month of Ramadan. We are greatly disappointed that our urgent plea to our leaders to respect this holy time by suspending demonstrations for respect to God, who they claim to give honor, has been totally ignored and even mocked. If the reasons moving us to whichever action are truly godly, the week of Christ's death, the holy month of Ramadan, would touch our leaders and touch our hearts, their hearts. Kenyans must we dishonor God for our own goals. We are therefore asking all Kenyans who are God-fearing, including our policemen, on their own personal decisions, not to participate in demonstrations this week and to refrain from all acts of violence and aggression. Let us not mock Christ's sufferings and his death by our actions. Number two, we urge all our leaders, specifically our President and Honorable Raila Odinga and all their advisors, that for the love we have for our country and for the love and respect of those who have suffered, have lost their lives, and for the love of God, whose places of worship have been desecrated and destroyed, to stop for a moment from pushing the conflict any further. This conflict is being driven by political class. It also, and it will never favor the common man. We have asked before for a sitting to listen and to converse with one another in that country. We, as Catholic bishops, now demand a truce and suspension of all political demonstrations from the opposition. We also ask for the suspension of celebrative gatherings and prayer meetings organized by government and political leaders, with the political nuances witnessed in such gatherings and prayer meetings. We question the intention behind them. Indeed, there will be no goodwill in pursuing a violent path or a path of revenge by using such gatherings. Number 4, this holy time calls for recovery of ethical behavior, respect, good manners, and true statesmanship. We therefore also demand an end of all provocative utterances, personal attacks, political agitation and verbal exchange between leaders in government and opposition. It is very disappointing and shameful to our young generation, the Kenyan generation. It is totally unacceptable by all standards. Number 5, we also demand an investigation and arrest of those who are engaged in theft and destruction of property and their sponsors. It is totally unacceptable that we give rein to unruly and unlawful acts of thuggery and celebrate them. The grave negligence on part of the security forces is truly inexcusable. A public apology is called for. Number 6, we ask and request that next week, Holy Week, special prayers be organized in all places of worship and even in our communities and families for lasting solution to the disintegration of our country's hard and democracy that we are witnessing. As we witness the suffering of Christ, let us examine how we as citizens and especially our leaders are betraying the very truth that he dies for. That is mercy, forgiveness, and reconciliation. Finally, we emphasize that the police must carry out their duty without favor in protecting citizens, safeguarding their property, and apprehending people who either break the law or take the law in their hands. There should not be discriminating protection or apparent discriminative negligence. We desperately need a space of calm in order to find ways to address our issues and our violence, conflict, which we already warned our leaders and all Kenyans about. We must not shout at each other, but let us talk to one another. Not hate, but love and forgive. Not fight, but listen and converse and find peaceful paths to our life and the development of our country. Dear Kenyans, we cannot always be lamenting and passing the buck to someone else to solve our problems, as it has happened in another time after elections. We must decide no longer as leaders, whatever your lands are and powers that will drive you to end this, we must decide to hate, to avoid hatred and violence. Dear Kenyans, we must decide now or face the consequences of selfish political interests that we see are guiding us and leading us very quietly and calmly to a disintegration of our nation. Our political class seems empty of ideas to offer to their political parties and groupings. Other sectors besides the political elite must weigh in their views and also make demands for better management of disagreements and differences. Violence will not and will never be a way to solve any problem. In all this, our only protection and guarantor of our rights is the law. It is then paramount that whatever we do as citizens and leaders must first and foremost respect the law of our land. We must all understand that selfish politics are destroying our country. At a time when more than 4.1 million Kenyans cannot put a meal on their table, we must have our priorities right. Today, we should seek to direct all funds to assist our suffering brothers and sisters, even if it means just a bit. All of us Kenyans must remind ourselves that Kenya is our country and the only country we belong to. It's our home. Attacking each other robs us a chance to live together, work together, and prosper together, our brothers and sisters in Kenya. No one can enjoy peace when a fellow citizen is in pain. We cannot praise nor encourage hooliganism or theft under any circumstances. In conclusion, we, the Catholic bishops of Kenya, invite all Kenyans to be true judges of what is right and what is wrong. Wrong remains wrong, and right will also be right. We ask our leaders to avoid personal attacks, but only harden the radical positions they have taken. Let us all be actively engaged in seeking harmony and peace without losing sight of legitimate concerns that can be channeled soberly so that solutions may be found. We do not solve anything by letting emotions dictate our actions. So the Lord has heard our prayer. The Lord has heard our prayer. It is a prayer. The Lord has heard our prayer. Now let us listen to His voice in this time of latent seasons. My brothers, my sisters, in the leadership of the country, my brothers and my sisters, in political parties, let us listen to the voice of God. The voice of God is an answer to our prayer. May God grant us the wisdom we need to safeguard our nation as answer to our prayer. We appeal for ceaseless prayers for a solution. Brothers and sisters, continue doing that for our country now. It is our obligation. This Holy Week must be a week of redemption from selfish plans, egoism, but also a week of opening us to a sense of brotherhood and sisterhood in the country, to a sense of organizing not anything towards them, but as the Good Friday does, organizing to ensure that death is overcome by us reconciling with God and with one another. May God bless Kenya. May God bless our beloved, our lovely Kenyans. May God bless our leadership, and may God bless each one of Kenyans who in one way or another is participating to increase the value and the importance and the goodness of what Kenya stands for. And what Kenya stands for is not only for us here, but it's also for all other countries around us. What we are matters also for our neighboring countries. We stay at peace, we shall create peace.